Parental rights in education. This continues to create waves in school districts all throughout the country. That's one reason why House Republicans passed the Parents' Bill of Rights earlier this year. Well, why is this such an important piece of legislation? Well, joining me now to discuss this and more is Congresswoman Virginia Foxx. She serves as the chairwoman of the House Committee on Education and Workforce. She's also a member of the House Oversight and Reform Committee. In fact, she and I sat beside each other on that committee for several years. She represents the 5th Congressional District of North Carolina. Dr. Foxx, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks, Jody. It's great to see you. I miss having you sitting next to me.
Well, likewise, I really do. We had a lot of great times, and good to be in the battle side by side, literally, with you. A lot of people may not know this, Virginia, but you got your start in politics when you ran for a seat on your local school board. Real quickly,
That's
tell
right.
us about that.
Well, I was observing school board meetings for the League of Women Voters to make sure that people in the community knew what was going on, because there was often no press. And so one night I was at a school board meeting, and the school board members were very incompetent that night. And somebody said, "Why don't you run for the school board?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not qualified." You know, women tend to think that they don't have the qualifications, Jody. So he said, "You mean you're not as qualified as those turkeys are?" So I said, "Well, I've got a master's degree in education. I'm teaching at Appalachian State University. I have a child in school." Went home, told my husband, "Ron thinks I should run for the school board." He said, "I think that's a good idea." Now, let me tell you, I lost my first election by about 200 votes. But I didn't let that stop me. I ran again, and the next time I was the top vote getter. So sometimes you have to run more than once to win. But I served 3 4-year terms on the school board, and I think I was a very effective member. I worked hard at it. I studied the issues. Sometimes it was 4-1 votes, but later on, those guys would often come around to join me. So it was an excellent experience and really helped prepare me to be chairwoman. I was working at the university at the time, so I have university experience as a teacher and as an administrator, and then I became the president of a community college. So, Jody, I have experience at all 3 levels of education, and those have really made me experienced and qualified to serve in the position the Lord's put me in right now.
Absolutely, and you do a great job at it, Virginia, I can tell you that. All right, let's jump to the Parents' Bill of Rights. You were a champion of that. Why is that such an important piece of legislation?
Well, first of all, let me say the only good thing that came out of COVID, Jody, in my opinion, is how it exposed education at all levels for how bad it is in this country. And so Republicans wanted to make sure that the public understands we are the champions of education freedom. We should have education freedom for every child, every parent in this country. So we put forth the Parents' Bill of Rights, and I might glance at my notes to make sure I don't miss anything, because we think there are 5 essential elements that parents need. Number one, to know what their children are being taught. I don't see how anybody could argue with that. They need to be heard by educators and policymakers. So if you want to talk to the teachers and the principals and the school board members, you should be able to do that. They need to see the school budget and how the money's being spent. They need to know where the money's coming from, what influence it might be having on the school programs, and where the money's going. They need to be able to protect their child's privacy. Schools are selling information on students to outside sources, and those outside sources are then contacting students directly in many cases. We don't think that's right. Their privacy should be protected. Our Constitution requires that. And then we want parents to be able to help keep their children safe by making sure that they have information on anything that is happening that could put their child in danger, such as the case up in Virginia where the boy masquerading as a girl sexually assaulted a child in one school, was transferred to another school because nobody knew about it. The administrators, the bureaucrats kept it secret. So we want that information out there to parents. They have a right to know that.
Absolutely. Well, Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, thank you for the incredible work that you're doing and that you have done. We are grateful for you coming on this special edition of Washington Watch, sharing your expertise with us as well. God bless you. Keep the torch ablaze there in Congress. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jody and Tony and everyone there for what you're doing to make sure people are informed about what Republicans and conservatives are doing in the Congress and what the liberals are doing in the Congress or attempting to do. It's very important that people understand the two sides of the issues that we're dealing with.
Absolutely. We'll keep it up. Thank you.